Hi there, welcome to another Wine Steward video. Thank you again for watching these productions, and we would like to tell you what's going on this week at the Wine Steward and all the goodies that we've brought aboard for you to enjoy. Look at what's happening right here. This very, very white, almost plaster colored piece of cheese is called Bergamino di Bufala. It's from the Lombardy region of northern Italy, and even as the color implies, it is as soft and yummy as a marshmallow. Not sweet, of course, but it is just smooth. This is less about flavor and more about really beautiful texture. It uses water buffalo milk, not cow's milk, not sheep's milk, not goat's milk. And it is just gorgeous cheese. And Grace told me that, hey, it's back. This just got here yesterday or today, and it's fresh. And we've enjoyed carrying it before and telling you about it before, and here it is again. This is something you might actually want to make bread for. And you grill that bread once you've sliced it up. Here's an example. This just came out of the oven, and this will be hitting the wine bar this evening. No, I did not burn it. I'd like it to look like this. The crust should be a little bit walnutty, a little caramelized, I think. Anyway, we like to slice this up and have beautiful things, including great olive oil on it. But what you could do at home is take bread like this of your own making and put it on the grill or even on the stove. If you have a gas stove, just put it on the stove, a slice of it, just over the flame for a few seconds before it will start on fire, and then you just will look out for the smoke alarm. Get that black char that's even on here on your slice a little bit, and then put this soft cheese on there. Whew, yummy, yummy. Bergamino di Bufala, buffalo. Bergamino di Bufala from Lombardy, Italy. Beautiful cheese, back in stock. Come and get it. This smells good, hot out of the oven. All right, let's tell you about a couple of the spirits that we've recently brought aboard, and we try to do that every week. This time we're going to tell you about 3 in 1. How about that? So with the holidays coming up, we think it's nice to be able to give your loved ones who are into this kind of thing a gift pack, a little set of spirits experiences, all from one producer. I remember when I got a nice lineup of gins like this. Well, this is a very nice lineup of whiskey from Australia, of all places. This is the brand called, the producer, Starward. Not Star Wars, Starward. And there are 3 of their whiskeys in smaller bottles represented in this nice gift pack. And it's fairly affordable, believe it or not. It's well under $50 for your whiskey lover to try, probably the first time, whiskey from Australia. There are 3 different levels of quality happening here. One of them is called Nova, one is called Solera, because it's done a la a Solera system. We can elaborate on that if you come in and ask. And then their entry level here, the name of which is escaping me right now. Oh yes, Twofold. Twofold implies that there are 2 different grains employed for that one. Solera, and this guy Nova is finished in wine barrels in Australia. So they get barrels from Penfolds, just drained of wine, and they're rushed to this whiskey producer and filled up with whiskey. So it's kind of cool that the local wine barrels are repurposed for whiskey production. Starward, check it out. This is a nice gift pack, and if you want full bottles of these, they are downstairs as well. Let's tell you about one other spirit item that we brought aboard. This very nifty looking bottle is called Alchemist. I know that brand or name gets thrown around a lot, but never with this spelling. There are 2 K's in Alchemist, as this gin is described by the Spanish producer. So yes, this is from Spain. And have you ever noticed that no one is more fanatical about their gin and tonics than the Spanish? I didn't notice that in 2005 when I first went there. I didn't see it in 2010 when I next went there. But my next trip in 2011, like all of a sudden, gin and tonics, G&Ts were everywhere. The funny thing is, the Spanish don't even, they have a problem with pronouncing gin and tonic. They say gin tonic. We know what they mean, and they know what we mean when we say gin and tonic at any bar in Barcelona. Alchemist is a beautiful gin and tonic gin. It's one of the only, actually it's the only gin ever to use a little bit of muscat wine to kind of finish it off at the end for enhancing the fragrance. You get some apple blossom, some lavender, and some citrus peel from this. It is a beautiful gin and tonic gin, Alchemist. Check it out. Made in Spain, as you can see right there at the top. Pretty cool looking, huh? Let's now tell you about what's going on at the wine bar. And I just happen to have a few samples to prove how good these wines are. Like, this is a sparkling wine, as you can see. I hope you can see. Boom, boom. Oh, what is it? Champagne? Nope. But it's made like champagne, almost exactly like champagne, in Prosecco. They don't typically do this in Prosecco, but this happens to be a col fondo. Col fondo, that big term at the top, represents the fact that this was made with 2 fermentations, as all Prosecco is, but the second fermentation did not occur in tank. It happened in bottle. So the harder way to do this kind of thing, and yet this costs quite a bit less than any champagne that we carry. So a second fermentation happening in bottle rather than big tank makes this wine a little more distinguished because there is no dosage. This is a brut nature. In other words, it's bone dry. It's got depth of complexity that most Prosecco will not give you. This is serious Prosecco from Casa Pauline. We carry 2 others from them, kind of the more basic stuff that's actually very good for the basic stuff. This is their top stuff, Casa Pauline Col Fondo, implying second fermentation in bottle. Very nice Prosecco. Note that I'm not using a flute. I hate flutes. I can't get my nose into a flute. It won't fit. But my nose will fit into this, and I love to smell sparkling wine. And that's why we've banished flutes from our sparkling wine service. Let's tell you about 3 of the white wines in the white wine flight. We're not going to tell you about all 5, but I will tell you what the theme is. Now that the weather is changing a little bit, it's a little cooler out there, especially in the morning. I went for this little 3.5 mile run this morning, and it was crispy out there. I almost ran back in for long sleeves. And just that weather and the fact that it's darker in the morning and getting dark earlier in the evening is giving us a little more of a hunker down feeling, making us want wines that have a little more body to them. It just happens. When I was a produce manager, whether or not people realized they were buying accordingly, they were on very warm days buying all of the salad items on my counter. And when all of a sudden the weather changed to cold and maybe even rainy and cloudy, all of a sudden they're buying root vegetables and potatoes and onions and beets and things that they would be slow cooking along with hearty proteins, right? So let's play along with that. Let's represent a lineup of what I'm calling fall whites. And I'll just tell you about 3 of them rather than elaborating beyond that. Which one do I want to tell you? This is from Australia. We only bought 1 case because it's not inexpensive, but it's very, very cool. This is a richer white wine made of the Fiano grape in Australia, of all things. This apparently is a very hip and sought-for producer that I had never heard of before. This Unica Zella is the name of the producer, and this particular wine called Alluvium is, like I said, made entirely out of the Fiano grape, which we know is a white grape typically grown in Campania, Italy, but here it is from Australia. A little more mouthfeel, a skosh more room in the mouth. And now let's tell you about this white wine that I've told you about before, but I will not shut up about de l'Île Chaleur Blanc. The nice little utterance on the back label, the first line says the world has enough Chardonnay. In fact, this producer does not make a Chardonnay. Instead, they make this, which has nice richness to it too, but a different set of flavors, a la Bordeaux Blanc. We're not in Bordeaux, we are in Washington State to try de l'Île Chaleur Blanc. This is going to be a blend of Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon, some of which sees barrels. And so because of the Semillon addition and because of the barrel effect, you've got a little more mouthfeel. This is fantastic white wine. I call it one of the greatest white wines in America, regardless of price. Try it. De l'Île Chaleur Blanc. Emulates Bordeaux Blanc. This is so damn good that knowing I was going to tell you about it, I had to pour myself some. This is a white Burgundy, as you can see by this glass. A great glass for richer white Burgundies. This comes from the Côte de Beaune area, and more site specifically, Montélimar. Montilly is right next to Volnay, if you've heard of Volnay, and very, very near Meursault. So this is an area that grows beautiful Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Obviously, this is Chardonnay this time. Classy Chardonnay with a little bit of a creme fraiche effect, I'd say. Wow, I can smell beautiful richness. It's a puddle of love in my mouth. And yet there's life. There's the energy that only limestone, the local mother rock, can confer to great white Burgundy. That's what sets it apart from California Chardonnay. People come in and say, show me some white wine. We say, how about some Chardonnay? They say, no, I'm over that. And I say, how about some white Burgundy? Oh, what's that? I'll try it. We may or may not tell them that they're about to have Chardonnay from France, as grown in limestone. And they come back and say, I guess I like Chardonnay. Yeah, this kind of Chardonnay. Beautiful, beautiful wine. Oh my God, that is so freaking good. I could stop the video right there, but there's a couple more things to tell you about. We're not through with rosé yet. We're telling you about this and putting it on the menu, not because we're hung on a lot of inventory of rosé. In fact, we're a little short on rosé, but why do we do rosé only on the hottest days of the year? This is beautiful fall wine, winter wine, spring wine, and summer wine from Château de Beaupré in Coteau d'Aix-en-Provence. It is a beautiful blend of Syrah, Cinsault, Grenache, and we carry it every year. I love Beaupré every year. Get in on a glass of this. Another wine that we're offering only by the glass, and here's my glass. This is Abeja. I told you about it last week. If you saw last week's video, you heard me telling you about this beautiful Washington State Merlot, and the fact that Washington State is Merlot's perhaps best foot forward in the entire world, at least in the New World it is. And Abeja makes a beauty. I'll be visiting this producer in a couple of weeks, and in the meantime, I'm practicing. Lovely wine. This is offered by the glass only on the wine bar, but man, if you have this, you will agree with me. I promise that this is elegant, flavorful, rich, and yet not as tannic as Cabernet. And that's what Merlot is supposed to be. Silky, more gentle, but no shortage of flavor going on here. I'm getting choked up. It's very, very good. Okay, the red flight, finally. The red flight consists of more full-bodied reds, the first three of which are Bordeaux style. In other words, they're from the Cabernet family of grapes. Let's just say that we are pouring Architect again. This wine has thrilled our Pacific Coast Wine Club members. We just restocked because you keep coming back for more. Architect. It is very, very reliable, under $25 Cabernet from not Napa, but nearby. The Alexander Valley of Sonoma County is the provider of the fruit for Architect Cabernet. It's a people pleaser, and yet it's not stupid. I don't want to sell stupid wines to you, but I do want to indulge you with beautiful fruit sometimes, and that's what happens in this beautifully labeled Architect Cabernet. Now, this wine hasn't been up on the wine bar in a while, so why not? Let's get our home stuff up for you. This is made from very, very, very old, unrooted, unirrigated grapevines up in Oakley, of all places. It's made of 60% Carignan and 40% Mourvedre, and it was quickly bottled. We left it in large format barrels for only, I think, 9 months, and then quickly committed it to glass. 2 years later, after that bottling, it's beautiful. This is the 2021, I believe. I can't read it with my glasses, but this is singing right now, so come in and check it out. It's a nice full-bodied fall red. Why do I say fall in this case? Yes, there's fruit, but there's also something about fallen leaves here. If you've ever neglected a pile of leaves on your front lawn for a couple of weeks, and then you finally come back out with your recycling bin or your leaf bin and load, you get this smell of moldering leaves. That's a good word, moldering. And that's what happens in this beautiful wine that has fruit and these more mysterious forest qualities of moldering leaves in Domaine des Plus de Vie, or Plus de Vie if you want to say it more positively according to the French. The final wine in the red flight, yes, we're not telling you about all of them, but we want to just represent a few and say, come on, let's stop jabbering about the wine. You get in here and we'll start tasting it. How about that? This is going to be beautiful Syrah from different parts of California, all Northern California, made by Winds of Change. This is my most recent submission to you who are afraid of Syrah. just to say, Syrah is not always, it's not always eccentric. This is just beautiful red wine. It's got beautiful curvaceousness instead of tannic qualities. In other words, on the palate, it is round and friendly. And it's got beautiful, wonderful violet smells, violet and black pepper, and a little bit of cured meat. That's what some Syrahs do when they're grown in cooler areas. Winds of Change just kind of does it all in one bottle. This is gorgeous and affordable Syrah that finishes this week's red wine flight. So, don't forget the cheese. Don't forget the beautiful sparkling wine called Col Fondo from Casa Paolin. And don't forget the spirits that we're now selling downstairs. We have tequila, we have gin, we have vodka, we have Armagnac and cognac, and we have limoncello, and grappa for those who can bear it. And actually, our grappa is pretty damn good. I think it's bearable. Let's see you soon. Thank you so much for everything you're doing with us at The Wine Steward.